What is going on, YouTube? So I wanted to come back today. Got a few videos that I wanted to tackle, but the main one is just discussing one recent trade rumor that has had some legs behind it since kind of like middle of last season. And I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm not thrilled with the current situation he's in. Um, Former Bulls point guard, 2010-11 NBA MVP, three-time All-Star, one-time All-NBA selection, Derrick Rose. Um, he's entering his second season with the Pistons, and while I think it's great that he's made the comeback that he has with smaller market teams, I would like to see him get a chance with a bigger market team. With a good supporting cast, also a team that's not going to rush him into too big of a role. That was my problem with D Rose with the Pistons last season. Is yes, when D Rose looks really good, it's really easy to say, yeah, we should make him our starting point guard. If the talent's still there, then obviously, I mean, even with the way he was looking with the Pistons last year, I think he was a top 15 point guard in the league. It's just that injury history. I don't think you can really push that. I mean, you're going on what, 4 or 5 knee surgeries, even a UCL tear that ended his 2018-19 season with the Timberwolves. So anyway, get back to this rumor that I was talking about. If the Pistons could ship him off to the Lakers, I really do like that landing spot for him. And I like it for the Lakers too. As far as giving LeBron a good supporting cast is concerned, or maybe upgrading it from what he had this year, which obviously wasn't a bad supporting cast since they were able to win the NBA Finals. But I think adding a player like Derrick Rose could be a really serious key for them. There's going to be a lot of fluctuation to the Lakers roster heading into this offseason. They have 10 free agents. I think a good portion of which will return. But you've got guys on the roster like Rajon Rondo, like Danny Green, like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Markieff Morris that are going to be valuable on the open market, but I could realistically see making a return to LA. But also if the Lakers are realistically also trying to pursue an actual like third star, maybe part ways with Kyle Kuzma. I don't know how that thing will go. They're really going to be working on limited budget. So getting even like a fourth player that can kind of stand out on their roster like Derrick Rose might be a huge key for them. I don't think D Rose is by any means a long-term solution for the Pistons. I think it's time for them to blow it all up, start it all over, find a starting point guard that they can roll with over the long haul. Maybe get, I don't know, a future first-round pick or something like that back for him, or maybe a younger player that they could do something with. But I don't think it would take all that much to get Derrick Rose to go from the Pistons to the Lakers, because I think the Lakers have a few pieces that they could throw back at the Pistons that would help, at least in the Motor City revamp or rebuild. But Derrick Rose coming off the bench for the Lakers, I think would be kind of a fantastic move. Maybe a 6th or 7th man role. Definitely don't give him starting level minutes. Work his way back in. Again, in more of a limited role, you can get 20. I guess in a bigger game, 25 effective minutes from him. And sometimes when the Lakers need those key minutes, need that extra playmaker off the bench, maybe when AD's hurt or LeBron's tired, because that happened frequently this season. LeBron got a lot of minutes. AD has recurring injury issues. The shoulder was a big problem for the last year or two. So I think giving those guys a break, bringing in someone else that's a veteran point guard that's definitely going to be hungry, searching for a championship, that hasn't even made it to a finals yet, and has been a LeBron teammate before. Granted, that was a weird stint in Cleveland a few years ago, and I like the fit. I think that Derrick Rose has a chance to actually succeed back in a big market. The experiment with the Knicks did not go well. The experiment with the Cavaliers did not go well. But ever since he landed with the Timberwolves about 2 seasons ago, he's been pretty good. He was talked about as like a skills competition participant, potential all-star reserve last season. And I get that part of that was because it was held at the United Center in Chicago. But I think with good reason. He was, again, a really effective point guard for the Pistons last year, legit 6th man of the year candidate until the Pistons started starting him more often. And Montrezl Harrell honestly had a really, really, really good season in the 6th man role with the Clippers. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that briefly. Again, I know that that's a rumor that's been picking up a little bit here lately. And I just think that it would be a good fit for him. I haven't been a huge fan of the return for Derrick Rose to a big market here in the past. But again, this one makes sense to me. So anyway, that's pretty much it. See ya.